Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are here down in Poole with Origin Yachts to have a look at this Sealine S34. Again, another very popular boat, late 1990s. We're going to start outside. Starters, great big pull and push pit, lovely big sweeping grab handle as you come around the side there. So I'm going to take a step up here. Not the widest side decks, but because you've got this big grab handle and the rail here, it's 1 foot in front of the other all the way forwards. Huge foredeck. Now this one I don't think has sun cushions, but you could quite easily put sun cushions down in there. Again, grab rails on both sides, a little fore hatch there and another one for the fore cabin there. A couple of fender baskets. The whole deck is covered in this non-slip moulding. Anchor locker down here. Let's have a peek, see what we've got. There you go, anchor winch, massive anchor locker. Chain looks like it disappears somewhere out of sight, but plenty of room for fenders, lines, warps, the whole thing. Sorry about the jet skis in the background. Foot switches for the anchor winch, cleat, all the usual bits and pieces you would expect. Let's have a quick spin round. It's a chilly but beautiful day down here in Poole. I think there's a little bit of condensation on board. Both side decks are exactly the same width. You can go down either side as you fancy. So let's go back down here. Again, it's very easy access. Whilst it's 1 foot in front of the other, it is pretty straightforward. And again, these lovely grab handles make it easy to get around. And you can plop your foot around the side here, over the side, and that drops you straight down onto the bathing platform. So you can see in this instance, this owner's got has his outboard mounted on the plinth there. This is a snap davit system, so you can see there's little snap davits in there, and the rail across holds the dinghy on. And then you've got the line running up the top here. Aft deck shower down there, and a really neat, these are so handy, little, oh it's not going to open actually because the outboard's in the way, but trust me on this one. Behind here is a locker for fenders, lines, all the usual bits and pieces. Shore power and swim ladder, and again stern cleats as you would expect. Little door here, which is always great, keeps kids and the like in the boat when you're going along. That slides open, and then you're greeted, we'll do the details in a minute, but you're greeted by this really nice, spacious, entertaining area. So on your way in, you've got your gas locker in here, plenty of room for 2 gas bottles, manual bilge pump, little topper sink there. And behind that, or underneath that I should say, is your cockpit fridge. Pretty straightforward. It's also nice, got a ice pocket there. And then aft dinette here, which I suspect also doubles as a sun pad, so you can drop that down I imagine and make that into a sun pad. Engine bay under here, which we'll have a look at on the way out. Storage underneath both of those, and a battery isolator switch box down there. I know you can't see so well on the video, but this has been re-upholstered, I would guess, but in like a canvasy fabric. So often these seats are all recovered, or they come from the factory as well, with like a vinyl plasticky fabric, so when you're sitting on a hot day you actually need to sit on a towel, but this whole area is just beautifully covered. Actually, this is quite neat. So underneath here, look at that, is a little hatch to the, or escape hatch to the aft cabin. This whole helm seat section as well, if I've got this right, I think, if I can remember well enough, lifts up. Nope, here we go. Nope. Get it right in a minute. Where is it? Here it is. There you go. Lifts up like so, giving you massive storage bin for seats, and there you go. There's the infill cushions and the shorter legs, so yeah. That table definitely folds down and makes this whole area here, massive sun pad. Big canopies all the way around. Obviously we've opened this one for access, but you can take this whole, zip the whole thing out, zip the front window ones out as well when you're going along, and then just leave the bimini in on the top if you want, or take the whole lot out and away you go. Fusion stereo system all around, which is great. Nice double helm seat here, which gains access to the helm station. So trim levers here, throttle controls and shifters, leg trim switches on the end here, two ignitions down there. There's a standard Raymarine, sorry about the sun reflection there, Raymarine C120, nice old school shipmate VHF radio handset, conventional radio here, there's another GPS plotter here, usual array of Carling switches, bow thruster, which is always nice, bit of a winner, and then a depth sounder, a speed and log, conventional compass, and it's what you don't see very often, good old-fashioned chart table. Do like a chart. And then, as you would expect, tank gauges, battery voltage, engine pressure, RPM, trim indicators there as well. So there you go, that is the cockpit area, which I have to say is pretty impressive. So if you want to move forward, very straightforward. Slide across this large perspex door, like so, and then that will give you then access into the saloon. Because of the raised superstructure, it's not massively raised, but it's raised enough to give you a deep step in. And once you're in here, it's incredibly spacious. So second dinette on the starboard side, which is really nice because you have porthole there, port light there, they all open, storage on both sides, and then you have the electrical switchgear. So mains voltage switches on that side, trip, and then everything this side of that line is then 12 volt, water tank gauges, wastewater tank, that sort of stuff, all in there. Air dispatcher, conventional warm air heating, blown air heating. There is then, as you would expect, storage all the way under all of these seats. And amazingly enough, because Sealine are really good at this sort of thing, storage in both of these voids under the floor. If I lift this one up, it's moulded. So there you go. And if you want to gain access to the rest of the boat, this whole insert section here, as you can see with the lines, lifts out. Really clever. Just put that one back down. And there's another one exactly the same under there. TV over here. So if I drop myself over here, you can then, ooh, sun's in the way. Nice galley over there. Cooker. Conventional fridge. I love this drawer. How clever is that? So 3 levels for a cutlery and bits and pieces. Work surface, double sink, which is always really useful. Double burner gas hob in here. 1 and 2. That does actually clip up there if you want to keep it there. So nice to have gas. I'm not a fan of electric because it means you have to run the generators and the like. Storage behind all of these cupboards, like so. A couple of steps back then gives us 2 doors forwards. Oh, I do apologise, the sun's very bright. So first door here takes you into the master cabin. I say master cabin because they are actually both decent size, and that gives you a really decent offset bed. How lovely this cabin is. Storage under the bed, storage in this full-size wardrobe down here, opening port lights on both sides, bit of storage under this locker here, and as you can see, a couple of cupboards on both sides, and then light streaming in through that forehatch. Door over here then gives us access to the shared heads, so Jack and Jill doors effectively. So there's one door this side which you gain from the master cabin, and as you can see there's a second door outside which you then gain from the main cabin area. Very standard, exactly what you'd expect. Pump action loo, little seat so when you're using it as a shower you don't have to wipe out behind the back of the loo. mirror, ventilation, which we always like, and the good old standard pull-out shower head. Again, full standing headroom, self-draining floor. Very, very standard stuff, but does what it needs to do. And equally, if we come back out into the main saloon area, do a 360 or 180, I suppose technically, you can gain access to exactly the same heads from here. And when we were up on deck, you'll notice there was that little ventilation hatch. There it is there. So you can get ventilation, it opens forward so you can get a draft through here as you're going along, which is really nice. And you can see, because of how bright it is in here, how well illuminated this cabin is. Spin it round, and again you can get an idea of how deep you go into the boat by the drop down on those steps. So last cabin is the aft cabin, which is in here. Immediately you're met by sort of 3/4 height wardrobe, storage cupboards all the way along the back here, another opening port light, which is really great, little vanity unit in here, really sweet, big full-size full-length door in there, and then push that in, and then cupboards under here both sides, little sort of corner seat there. There's that window that we looked at, or the escape hatch we looked at, that was under the Sealine in the cockpit. And then spin the camera around here and you can see really nice, decent sized double bed. Equally, you'll notice there's another window at the other side, so you can get cross breeze, cross ventilation, and you could, if you wanted to, take the seat cushion off here and open that at night. I'm going to make a statement which could be right, could be wrong. Anyone who's got one of these, let me know. But I'm fairly sure that you can infill that entire section there and make it a large double bed as opposed to 2 singles. But decent sized cabin. I mean, I'm a big fan personally. I sleep on my boat, always sleep in the aft cabin. It's so much quieter. You can make it nice and cosy, particularly in the winter. You can shut the doors, put the heating on. There isn't quite standing headroom under the bed, but there is in the main door area. Here you go. So again, decent size headroom. So that drops you back through here into the saloon area. Close that door up. Nice grab rail as you go back into the cockpit. So let's have a look at the engines. So I'm going to have to take, you can, for a quick inspection, you can just lift it up, have a quick look and see what's going on down there if you need to, but to gain better access, I'm going to drop the table out and lift the hatches up and move the cable out of the way. So magic of video editing. Table cabling out the way, very straightforward access. Down here, lift it up, and there you go. Self-supporting, which is really neat. You'll also notice over the side here, you've got the fuel cut-off switches. So down in here, we have a pair of Volvo Penta AD 41Ps. So straight 6 turbochargers, pretty straightforward engines, super reliable. These engines have been in an awful lot of boats and done a lot of service over the years. Quite nice as a little access ladder so you can climb yourself in. Over the far side there you can see all the fuel lines and the fuel filters, water separators. Battery box in the far corner, that white one. Very, very nice and tidy engine bay. And right the way down this side here you can see hot water tank and the water pump system. But plenty of access. There's another battery over there, probably a spare starter battery I guess, and you can see the hydraulic ram in the far corner that runs the trim tabs. So those engines are going to give you probably a top speed with a clean bottom of around 30 knots and a really nice stable cruising speed of probably around about 22 knots. So there you go. There she is. Let's just drop this back down. So that is a Sealine S34. Hope you've enjoyed the tour. Do please like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next time round. Thanks for watching.